to give a shout out to our sponsors of the week. It is Illegal Image Clothing. You could check them out on Instagram, Illegal Image Clothing. And then we got our brother and the one that's putting it down, punching back in LA County and all over Southern California. His name is Attorney Rosenberg. You guys could check him out at Attorney Rosenberg. And then if you guys want to get some training, some fitness, some nutrition, get your mind right, get your body right, get right for summer, tap in with my boy JB Fitness. That's JB_Fitness on Instagram. And we also got the homies at Rap Kings. That's right, Rap Kings_LV. If you guys want to get your walls, businesses wrapped, vehicles, they do it all. So make sure you guys let them know that Mr. Criminal sent you. And last but not least, we got Tradecraft Farms. That's right, the homie Daniel Rodriguez of the UFC pulled up this week and tapped in with a bag of that Tradecraft, and we've been in touch. So I want to give a shout out to all our sponsors. Make sure you guys give them a follow. Make sure you guys show some love and support.
It's your homeboy Steven Lujan.
It's your homeboy Ricardo giving a shout out.
Yo, what's cracking? It's me, Alvino.
This is Veronica. It's Monica from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Calling in from the San Fernando Valley.
Calling from Montebello.
Already on Wicked Boulevard every weekend.
It's that time again, baby.
From South Central Los Angeles.
Supporting the crime.
The West Coast is live in the building.
The Crime Family Network Podcast.
And today we celebrating.
Network podcast.
I support Crime Family Entertainment.
And I'm supporting the Crime
And we
Family
rolling up
Network
critical.
Podcast.
Yeah. 2023 Mr. Criminal live on air, the most realest and active podcast on the West Coast, representing for the culture. And today we have a legend in the building again. When I'm talking about legendary, I'm talking years contribution to the hip hop game. I'm talking silver screen actor. I'm talking businessman turned into an empire with the Napalm brand. Ladies and gentlemen, bring it to the stage, my personal homeboy, and I'm a big fan, my homie Xzibit. What's cracking?
What's
X to the
up, man?
motherfucking Z. What's cracking, baby?
What's good, man? What's good, man? We in here.
Yeah, man. It's a celebration.
Yeah, Mr. Criminal, thanks for having me, man. I've been watching you do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been watching you get down, man. I follow you on social media, so I've been seeing when you got this started, man, and anything I could do to support, I always show up. So you know what I'm saying? This is nothing.
Like a
It's
real
good.
one, homie. You always have, homie, and I appreciate that. And you're one of the very, very elite one. I would say part of an elite group of West Coast MCs. And you straight keep it real, like you just from the streets, like you never even made it. As far as anytime I ever hit you up, it ain't no Hollywood shit.
Yeah.
It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like, what's cracking? What you need real quick? I'm in the middle of working with Dre right now, but I just took a little break real quick. What's poppin'? Hold up, Dre. I got Criminal on the phone. That's some cool shit, man. That's some real
flex.
shit. Yes.
Well, look, man,
That's
check
love.
this out. Check
What's
this
poppin'?
out, man.
Yeah.
You never know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
And the same person that you dismiss or don't have time for that day be the same motherfucker you run into having to ask for some fucking favors later on.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You never know who you're talking to. So I always give people the benefit of the doubt and respect until they prove otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I always am open to having conversations or giving people opportunities because shit, dude, at one point motherfuckers didn't want to hear from me either.
Hell yeah. You had to start somewhere.
Yeah, but so when I saw you, first of all, we hooked up on some music shit a long time ago.
Yeah.
So, to see you evolve and see what your endeavors and what everything else you're doing, bro, self-made, you know what I'm saying? I applaud that, and I support you anyway, bro.
Man, that's love, homie. And,
Yeah.
and we just trying to keep the ball rolling for the coast.
Yeah.
And represent the flag for the Latin side, but really ain't no color lines. It's all hip hop. It's all love, and out here, I'm priding myself in being part of that movement that the brother Cam helped create.
Yeah.
And he introduced us. Shout out to the homie Cam.
Yeah.
And now it's getting to the point where ain't no real difference. It's like there's certain homies that have the look and might be bald headed with the tats, but I think that there's certain people that are elevating it to take it to the level of just respectable hip hop.
Yeah, well, I mean, West Coast hip hop is deeply rooted in gang culture.
Straight up.
And what comes down from the pen usually permeates to the streets and to the music and to the vibe and to the attitude.
Always.
That's just how it is. I mean, you know, and our way of thinking and lifestyle has transcended into other areas. You know what I'm saying? They got motherfucking Southern California gangs in New York City. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they try to live by the rules that have been here for longer than the music was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
the first time I seen that Jim Jones video with Game in it, and they were like repping the red rags in the liquor store,
yeah.
I was kind of fucked up. I was like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? And it just became kind of normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's why, you know, that's why when I say, you know, with the West Coast stuff and how it's deeply, I mean, look, dude, I think the music defines itself and it kind of tells the story, but I mean, I think what really hasn't been seen from the West Coast is just everybody pushing for the W. You know what I'm saying? I think when you try to implement the things that are happening in the street, in the music, it gets a little, the water gets a little muddy because you can't tell when one starts and one stops. You know what I'm saying? And shit gets fucking hot real quick. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a delicate balance that we, the creators, the people who make it, have to find that line and find out, okay, how can we make this beneficial for everybody?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But not everybody want it to be like that.
Yeah.
Some people be like, yo, I'll never fuck with them and I'll never fuck with them and fuck them motherfuckers. It always boils down to that type of shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's gonna be like people who want to make billions and then people who want to, you know, have street credibility. I think that's what it's really going to boil down to. You know what I'm saying? Because the world's going to keep moving on without us. You know what I'm saying? With us or without us. Let me put it that way. So there's gonna be you know, opportunities like you doing this podcast is a big part of where the world is going. How we communicate. How do we get together? You know what I'm saying? So the people that want to see us together, they gonna rise to a certain level. Yeah. And the people that don't want us to see us together have their own agenda. So we just got to figure out, you know, where it's gonna go and where you want to be in the scheme of things in the future.
Hell yeah, and the future's moving fast.
Yeah, man.
In these days, attention span is so short, especially with the youth. It's like it's as fast as scrolling. Like as fast as your real might
30
be
fucking
30
seconds,
and it's a wrap.
That's how long these new motherfuckers' attention span is. Come on, man. That's
crazy, right?
What can you do with 30 seconds? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, you can't retain information. This is gonna be interesting. Like, you know, we have these concerts now where, you know, like me and Cube and, you know what I'm saying, and you know, and Yuck Mouth, and you know what I'm saying, like the Dog Pound, you know, Bone Thugs. We all do these big arena shows now.
Hell yeah.
We're all together. You know what I'm saying, and these songs have been around since, you know, the early '90s, mid '90s, late '90s, early 2000s, right? And we could still tour these records because people have memories of people made memories to these songs and made memories to these albums. So what are you gonna do 10 years from now when the only thing you can remember is a fucking 5-second TikTok video?
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? You can't tour with that shit. You can't rock a show with that shit.
5 seconds.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be like, how you gonna do a 30-minute set, my nigga? You can do like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing?
That reminds me of them Island Boy kids. Remember they were getting real popping, like all over. You were seeing them all over. And then one day I saw them like on TikTok, and they were like, Island Boys fucking got booed off the fucking stage in Florida somewhere.
Bro.
And they were like trying to do that shit in the crowd, like throwing water bottles. Like, get the fuck off the stage.
Because that don't translate.
Nah, it don't.
It's two different planets. You know what I'm saying? It's like the metaverse and all that. You know, Instagram models and click the link in my bio shit. That translates to a very small amount of real world activity. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things that we are used to doing move millions of people. It wasn't like you know, we were reinvented the wheel, but we did something that had longevity to it, and I think that's what's missing now.
You know, it's more than longevity and more than what you said earlier about creating people have memories to it. it's an actual foundation, my G. You can't take that back. It's a golden era of hip hop that cannot be replicated, cannot be duplicated. It just won't ever be. They say history repeats itself, not that motherfucker. That ain't gonna straight up, homie. That's where it's not gonna repeat itself. There ain't never gonna be another X to the Z. There ain't never gonna be another Dre, Snoop. That whole just the whole era of how it came in and how it perfected it and how it actually got better. You were part of the rise and how it got better. You actually represented the transition. Okay, it was like dope ass production, dope ass lyricists. Okay, Snoop got the dope voice, everything, but then here comes X. Oh shit! Now we got a spitter out this motherfucker. Like now we got someone out here from the West that can hang with any lyrical motherfucker on the East Coast.
Yeah,
straight up.
There's a few of us, man. Crooked Eye,
for
Ras
sure.
Kass,
For sure.
Corrupt.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
At that time, it was a new and a fresh sound added to the family of the whole Dre tree. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you helped carry that flag into the transition into the 2000s and the late 90s when they were still kind of in that early 2000s or 90s sound. You know what I'm saying? So
yo, you know
gotta
who
give
else?
credit.
You know who else was very lyrical?
Who's that?
And never got a real opportunity to shine, in my opinion. Rest in peace. Was Mossberg.
Oh, he was hard as fuck.
Mossberg was our biggie.
Hard.
He was a real solid dude. You know what I'm saying? Man, it goes back to what we was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like the West Coast, you know, including, you know, like even going out to Vegas, even going out to Seattle, like that there are so many people here. Like if we focused on just really taking care of our own backyard, like there would be no other markets. There would be no other competition. Like if we took care of our own market, meaning that we supported every release that came out just on the West Coast and everybody fucks with it. We can go double platinum, triple platinum, diamond here in our own backyard.
Our own shit, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On our own shit. But again, it goes back to that fucking gang culture. And we taught not to support each other. We taught to fucking go against. You know what I'm saying? That's just in the nature. So I think if we want to take care of our business, I think everybody is kind of growing up a little bit though. The maturity and recognizing that, you know, the economics behind, you know, being together or staying apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just talking about the business side. We can't do shit about the street. The street is the street. It runs
Always gonna
itself.
be that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about, man, there's so much economics that can be made just from supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? Even on the music side. And then the rest of the people will follow. The people will bring their own fans. They got, you know, little pockets, and then there's people who bring larger audiences. You know what I'm saying? But it all can talk to each other. It all helps.
Yeah, it all builds up on each other and helps stack this legacy of the West. But I also want to touch on what you said earlier as far as the people that support in our own place. We want to hear the LA shit. But see, it's like I had Julio G in here yesterday, right? And he was talking about these new DJs got to have more accountability. All they want to play is Atlanta shit. All they want to play is trap shit. When we got all kinds of hot-ass West Coast shit right here. But it does go back to the gang shit. It's like, what's good for radio? What's good for promotion? What's good for the marketing and dollar bill? Is it the gang shit or is it the more poppy, singy, auto-tune shit? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, they get, I mean, those playlists are paid for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like they
organic.
Yeah, it's not like they picking like, oh, this song moves the culture. Nah, they fucking people paying for that shit.
Who got the biggest budget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, like, you know, we can create our own avenues. You know what I'm saying? Like like social media and all these other things, they shadow ban us when we do certain things. But, you know, if we all talk to each other and we all know what time it is, it can be done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you look at a guy like E40. E40 was selling shit out the trunk. Ended up creating his own sound, smash, you know what I'm saying? And now he's created different revenue streams to support his music. You know what I'm saying? But that's one person out of millions, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there's a lot of artists out here. But also to be fair, man, there's a lot of artists that aren't ready to be artists yet. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to jump into this like, oh, I'm fucking Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like I came out, I've been rapping for 6 months, and I think I should get a Grammy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like pay attention to your craft. Realize that you listen. You know, when you doing your shit at a high level, the game will come knocking on your door. You don't have to chase it. You know what I'm saying? They'll come to you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people has lost the artist development side of doing that just because you can, like they got AI rapping now. You know what I'm saying? AI motherfuckers that sounding like people now. You know what I'm saying? So that even makes it even harder. You know what I'm saying? Like when you can go and program a voice and sound like, somebody who's been working on their craft for a long time. It's going to be very interesting the next 3-4 years and see where everything lands.
Shit's nuts, bro.
Yeah.
I think the world's changing so fast that if people don't get on top of it, they're gonna get left behind real quick in the next 3 to 4 years.
Yo, the train's already left the station. They let this fucking AI shit out on us without even knowing what the fuck it's gonna do. That motherfucker already lying. Motherfucker making up shit.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Imitating Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And Eminem, you hear the cat track?
Oh,
the cat one?
Uh-uh.
Oh my God. Like I'll play it before we go because I don't want to get flagged for the monetization, but homie, it's nuts. Like cadences, the deliveries, stacks, hooks, like crazy.
Oh, man.
Like
See?
5 voice pattern changes from Eminem. Like blew my mind when I heard it. I was like, this is fucking
It's
ridiculous.
crazy. It's crazy. And now you got to fucking, look, we got to trademark our voices. We
Yeah.
got to trademark our fucking DNA.
Wow.
That's what it's going down to. Like, oh, man, that's not, even though it looks exactly like me, that's not Xzibit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not my voice, you know?
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild.
So was that something that you seen ahead of time in the future? Is that why you named your album Man vs. Machine, one of your older albums?
Man, it's funny how things, kind of like fall into place like that. I when I did Man vs. Machine, that was kind of like the way I felt as, one guy, coming from the underground, battling this big fucking massive thing that had finally happened in my life, but I thought it was going to get easier, but it just got harder. Wow. So it became Man vs. Machine because I felt like I was by myself, you know what I'm saying? But I was having to do all these different things and still make it look easy. But, fast forward, it is a metaphor for what's going on now because, it's literally, us figuring out what our next step is. And, we have all this technology going on, and is it really helping us? You know what I'm saying? They call it a smartphone, but does it really make us smarter or dumber? You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
We haven't that's the judge the jury's still out on that.
Yeah, straight up. And then when we talk about these new artists, how they don't get up and they don't have the hustle, you could blame that on the fact of social media, because when we got it, we had to get out the mud. We had to get out there and shake hands with record labels, sell music out the trunk before you were known back in the days. Now they just like, oh, if I'm not hot, if I'm not going viral, maybe I don't want to try this week. Like there's no extra hustle. Motherfuckers ain't getting out and really getting it. You know?
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I think immediate gratification has done a lot of damage to people.
Yeah.
This idea that because I'm popular or I get attention that I'm successful.
Yeah, and that you have something owed to you. It don't work like that.
It doesn't.
Nah.
This is going to be very interesting to see how people or kids now, because I call them kids because they're it's some 40-year-old kids out here still. You know what I'm saying? Like people who haven't matured to really to hit their peak. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting to see how these kids turn into adults and when they turn into adults. I mean, I remember when I was on my own at 14, so I had to do a lot of shit. And so by the time I was 20, 21, 22, 23, I was a father. I had to do a lot of, real solid thinking, you know what I'm saying, and make some real big decisions at a very young age as an adult that still translate to this day. So now it's going to be interesting. These kids are living this fantasy and living in this phone till, their late 20s, almost 30 years old, still not really having a real grasp on who they are and what they should be doing for themselves and the people around them that depend on them. it's gonna be rough. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely don't. That's why I fucking smoke all the fucking shit I want to smoke right now, because I don't want to be a senior citizen around these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
These niggas gonna be letting me shit on myself and not be full blown disrespect. Scrolling on their hologram phones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hit my life alert. Fuck you, motherfuckers, man.
That's right.
Fucking nigga, I'm out. Nigga, I'm spitting on my shit right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, shit, with all that being said, you mentioned the metaverse earlier. What's your take on the whole crypto NFTs? Are you having any exposure to
That's bullshit.
It's bullshit?
Bullshit.
Tell me what you think. Well, why is it bullshit?
It's a Ponzi scheme.
Okay.
It's a Ponzi scheme. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna give you $100,000 for some shit I can never physically pick up and touch.
Tangible, yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you say.
No matter
that
what's
shit
backing it.
crashed. That shit crashed. Motherfuckers jumping out of windows. Motherfuckers, all them niggas mysteriously getting killed and shit.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Man, give me some dollars, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. So X ain't fucking with the future NFTs and the whole shit they're trying to say.
Fuck that. You gonna tell me that little dumbass picture of that little fucking monkey is worth fucking $7 million? You motherfucker.
Right?
If that alone don't tell you that's some bullshit,
Yeah.
it's not even drawn correctly. It's not even like a good looking.
It's not even fly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's
Like,
not even
what
fly.
the fuck? Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I don't
okay.
give a fuck what they say.
Damn. Well, there it is. That just shut down my drink. Hey, I got two Mutant Ape yacht clubs for sale right now. I'm trying because after this interview, I think the price is going down on these motherfuckers. I'm out. Nah, it's crazy. Cause
Look, check this out.
Yeah.
Criminal, man.
Yeah.
Criminal. Just food for thought.
yeah,
If you spending any kind of money over $500,000, $1 million, you better be able to take a shit in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, that's a good point.
Man, fuck that shit. Show me. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you're right.
Show me. Every time I've had thousands of people come and try to tell me, oh, it's the future, man. It's this, it's that. I was like, okay, so explain it to me like I'm a 7-year-old child.
Yeah.
How do you make it, sell it, deposit it, and pull the money out? Nobody can give me that series of without fucking having all kinds of David
crazy
Copperfield shit, and you know what I'm saying? You got the motherfucking the digital wallet where if you lose it, you lose every fucking
fucked.
thing, and like who wants to do that?
Nah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. I'm gonna go shit in my house, and my shit's gonna be there when I wake up, and it's not gonna lose value.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
And when I sell that motherfucker, I could go anywhere in the world
And do it again.
spend that motherfucking money.
And it's gonna be tangible.
Right.
And you can go to the bank and put that motherfucker in your hand.
And pull it right the fuck back out.
Hey, that's a good point. Maybe I should have thought about that before I started spending so much money on these things.
You did good though.
Nah. Thank God I have not taken any losses. I hit it in the right pocket in the right time. I studied the game at the right
Good,
moment.
good.
And I'm still up. So thank God.
Good.
In my position, I haven't lost yet.
Okay, good.
It's
Well,
probably time to get out.
put your shit somewhere where you sell them motherfucking monkey photos, man.
Yeah, it's time to go.
And put that shit somewhere.
Nah, for sure. Well, shit, taking it back to the foundation.
Yeah.
I want to know, as a fan and watching your rise and everything, I want to know the birth of Xzibit. How did you fall in love with hip hop? When was the moment that you first picked up a microphone? When were the moments that people could say like, "Damn, I knew that little homie was gonna make it. Like, little Alvin Jordan was gonna be a fucking legend someday. The way that he spit and so right here at this school or this spot or these barbecues or whatever. I want to know the story.
Yeah, man. I fucking I was born in Michigan.
Okay.
I was born in Detroit.
Wow.
And my mother was a English teacher, and my father was also an educator. But he went back and forth between special education and being a principal, right? And so and plus they were very religious, right? And so I would go to school, I would come home, go to school again because my parents would practice their fucking lesson plans out on me and my sister. So, my mother passed when I was 9. And so my dad got remarried. So we left Detroit, ended up moving to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I stayed there from, 9 years old till I was like 16, 17. Then I came, I was on my own. I was really in a lot of trouble, doing a lot of dumb shit when I was a kid. Ended up, being awarded a state at 14. And so, during this time, I was really angry. I was going through a lot of transitions, a lot of fucking problems. Very angry when my mother passed. Very angry my dad got remarried so quick. Started, running the streets, getting a lot of shit. And so I ended up just, getting out of juvie. All the home, in there I was like writing my own raps. You know what I'm saying? I was like, my parents hated hip hop because it was cursing too much. They were very religious, so all they wouldn't let me listen to it. So the best thing I could do was write my own. So I started writing Xzibit at 13.
Wow.
Right? It was actually Exhibit A. You know what I'm saying? For Alvin.
Hell yeah. That's hard.
Then I dropped the A and then started with the X and the Z, but a couple years later as I started writing more and more and more. So when I got to California, I was, I came with some friends of mine that said they lived here by themselves. And so I ended up coming out and finding out that they didn't live by themselves. They lived with their parents. So it was like, oh, fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I came out here. When I came to California, I had, hold on one second. Ooh, I gotta sneeze.
Nah, you're good, brother.
I thought I did anyway. So when I came out to California, I had $3,000, a black and purple Geo tracker, and a Coogee rap CD, and a motherfucking cooler full of Snapples.
Hell yeah. There you go.
And some cross-color clothes.
Yeah. What flavor were the Snapples?
Fuck, dude. I mean, I don't know, man. I just had I could only have 6 of them because it was a little ass cooler.
I got you. I was gonna go grab a bottle after this.
Yeah, and yeah, man, it was just a blur, man. When I got here, I was writing, but I could just write long ass freestyles. And then I got with James Broadway. He had a crew called 360 in Pasadena. And that's where I met King T and the Alcoholics. King T and the Alcoholics were the first real artists that I met, with real record deals and, real backing. And they were really, putting music out. So when I got with this crew, I learned how to start writing songs.
Yeah.
Writing song structure, writing, hooks, bridges, 16-bar verses, 8-bar verses, figuring out what all that meant, and then breaking down the things that I want. And then, I cut my teeth, I didn't get on right away. I was just, freestyling and battling cats on the radio, going to Julio G, you know what I'm saying? Going to the Wake Up Show, just battling, cats in the cypher. I would just walk up to motherfuckers that even look like they rap. It's like, hey, you rap? And then let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like that was how we communicated back then. There was no internet. There was no posting yourself. It was just like when you did enough work, then the powers that be came knocking on your door and inviting you to places so you could do your craft. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that was like the enjoyable part for me, was even getting prepared to be what I was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the shit. Because at the time, it was a bunch of crews in Southern California. You had, the Good Life, you know what I'm saying, where Freestyle Fellowship came from, and you know what I'm saying, like Medusa, and you know what I'm saying, Volume 10, and you know what I'm saying, all the Black Crows, all these legendary groups, you know what I'm saying, were coming out of these cliques. And then you had the Far Side, you had the Wascals, you had, you know what I'm saying, like,
Damn, the Wascals, I forgot.
you know what I'm
about
saying?
them. Yeah.
You had of course the heavyweights. You had Cube coming out with, West Side Connection, and you know what I'm saying, and Caution. You know what I'm saying?
Caution was hard.
And then you had, everything coming from the Bay. So all the, Souls of Mischief, you know what I'm saying? Dale, a Funky Homo Sapien, plus Too Short, plus, you know what I'm saying? Like all these different sounds, and everybody had their own, kind of like thing, but it all was for the W. Everybody pushed for the West Coast sound. And it was a really dope time. You know what I'm saying? Because we all coexisted, but nobody sounded the same. You know what I'm saying? So that was my environment that you could bounce to different clubs every night and see niggas getting down. You know what I'm saying? It was dope to be able to cut my teeth in that environment. So then when I finally got put on, it was like I had an excitement about the next step because I had did all the preparation work. So now I knew when I was in front of these new people that I was polished enough to represent the W in a really good way. And that's where it really started, man. I did it. I went the long way. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't do it any other way. I believe that God don't put you in no position you're not prepared for. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I felt, when I came into everything that I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't ready to work with, a Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg or M, you know what I'm saying, when I first was 19, 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't polished enough. It was only me going through these 2 albums and trial and error to get to a point where I had a sound that I could identify and do consistently. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people miss that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're looking for it. They're always searching for it and they can't find it. They can't grasp it.
Right, yeah. Because you didn't work for it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You can't scam you can't scam the game. You can scam a gang of motherfuckers, but you can't scam the game.
Nah, for
you know what I'm saying? The time is going to tell whether you did your part or not. You get it. You get what you give to the game.
Hell yeah. So your time with the Liquid Crew, obviously you were learning how to pretty much spit bars, how to do hooks, how to do 16s. When was the moment where you're like, okay, now I'm gonna become a solo artist, or was it always kind of like you were just loosely affiliated with the Liquid Crew and then you were always a solo artist?
No, I was always a solo artist. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to be in a group so bad. None of them worked.
I see.
None of them worked.
Yeah.
Some had different reasons, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I was never in the Alcoholics. I was part of the Liquid Crew.
Yeah.
But I was always a solo artist.
Got it.
I tell you what, I can tell you this, man. Not many people know this, but the first group, what I got with 360, with James Broadway, King T, and they tried to pair me with this other guy named Ollie Rock. And we were going to be the Shady Bunch. Oh, my God.
He said, nah, that wouldn't work. God couldn't give you what you couldn't.
The Shady Bunch.
Yeah.
I swear to God. And I bought into it. You know what I'm saying? I tried. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you wanted to be part of that group.
Right. I wanted to be part of the group. I was like, oh, this is great. Nope, didn't work. Dude went off and did some other shit. But then I became a solo artist. So then my next thing was, okay, cool. I'm going to be, we're going to do, I think, what is the next one? The Golden State?
Yeah.
Golden State, me, Ras, and Saphir. Long story short, it didn't work. We had a great, appearance. Yeah. Like we were building it on our albums, and then the main project just never came to light. You know what I'm saying? So that was fucked up too. Then I did Strong Arm Steady. It was, oh my God, another long story. But the only group that actually I'm a part of that actually worked that I feel really great about and still working to this day is the Serial Killers with me, Be Real, and Dimrick.
Yeah.
Man, we make really dope music. We go on tour.
That's tour and kill it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We go on tour. We fuck shit up. and everybody goes home happy. You know what I'm saying? And we all have our own individual shit, but we all get together and fucking, when we do that, it feels really dope because it kind of scratches that itch that I was looking for to be in a group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you guys compliment each other on the mic, and with the different styles, it brings out a competitive edge. It's pretty dope to hear that shit on the records being created and birthed. So at that age, obviously you're learning. You're like you said, you never would dream that you would have the phone calls from the Dre's or the workings with the Eminems. When was the moment that you started feeling more confident on the mic? Like, okay, now I could do some shit. Now, because every artist that I've come across in my life was always like, I'm the best motherfucking rapper. Like, egos through the roof, right? It sounded like you were still like coming up humbly. Like, was there a moment where you're like, okay, you didn't have to be cocky or nothing, but it was like, okay, now I'm ready for the motherfucking radio. Now I'm ready for the Dre's and the Snoops and all these. Or did it just come organically? You didn't even realize it?
It came from the work.
Wow.
And it came from burning niggas down on the stage.
Hell yeah.
You're not a real MC if you can't rock a show. If you suck live,
Yeah.
you ain't do it. You're not doing it. MC,
Move the motherfucking crowd.
move the crowd. Can you hold the crowd's attention with your music and your delivery and your breath control and all of the above? Can you sound live the way you do on records? Can you do that? And if you're not doing that, then you still got work to do. Not saying it's not possible, but just know that's the barometer. That's the bar. You know what I'm saying? Can you tear down a fucking show?
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's a lot of, like I said, it goes back to this new generation. I mean, now even these new artists, they might be popping and cracking and like numbers through the roof, homie. And then I see them on stage on some like YouTube shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Rapping over the song.
Yeah,
They're just playing a song and they just yelling the ad libs.
Yeah, or they're like walking like with their hand in their shirt, like not even got their mic on, like drinking and like looking at the crowd and like say two words. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? You know?
Yeah, but I mean, but at the same time, you know, you know, the crowd has to want more as well. If they're satisfied with that, as long as they let them get away with it,
Yeah.
then that's what it is. But I mean, there's still some samurais that walk around the earth.
Yeah.
You know, I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? There's been tours that I've been on, big fucking tours, with artists that got #1 singles, top 40 radio hits, and I'll burn their ass down.
No, I seen it with my own eyes. I was
Burn
in the crowd.
their ass down.
In the crowd. That's why I smiled when you first said it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is because I will outwork you. You know what I'm saying? You can pay for your admission to Disneyland, but motherfucker, I built the ride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know how to fucking, you know what I'm saying? I know what makes Space Mountain Space Mountain.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? You just paid for your front of line pass, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I say anger management tour. Eminem headlined that motherfucker. 50 Cent, G Unit, D12. And right before everybody came out, there was a couple people that came out. I think you came out in between G Unit and D12, if I remember correctly. And you came out rocking an all blue suit, and you were fucking that shit up. All by yourself, homie. Everybody was up to that moment, had like hype man, 4 or 5 people on stage, and I was like, damn, X is up there by himself, fucking this shit
I
up.
rode out on a lowrider bike.
I remember that
California opened up. I rode out that motherfucker on a lowrider bike.
shit. I
like
was right there puffing big
Yeah.
clouds, homie.
What's up,
Big
bitches?
clouds.
Let's go.
And you fucked
Oh
it up.
no! Boom!
Yeah,
boom! Boom!
And it was a tough act to follow, because as big as G Unit is, I remember they came out. Remember they had the fucking Lloyd Banks came out, and they had the Empire. What do you call that? The lady with the
Oh
flame?
yeah, the Statue of
And
Liberty.
she's
Yeah.
like falling in the crown.
Yeah.
They were cool, but it was like, man, that energy wasn't there. I felt like the energy didn't pick back up till Eminem got on. And
Yeah.
when Eminem got out, he fucked it up. You know? What I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man.
But yeah, that bar was set high by X. Even then, I remember very clearly. I remember going home and like, damn, I need to get some more of that fool shit. You know what I mean?
And I still stand on that. I
Yeah.
still believe that the live show is what connects an artist to the audience outside of it's the closest thing that people are going to get to actually having an experience with you.
Yeah.
So whether it's 5 people or 500,000 people, I give them the same show. Because again, you never know who you're moving.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? You never know who you're touching. You never know what that person went through to get in front of you to see you do your art.
Yeah.
So give it to them.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be too cool to be there for your fans.
And you could either do two things. Either way, the fans are gonna leave with a memory, and it's gonna be experience. They're gonna either go home and talk shit like, "Man, this dude had a hard ass song, but can't perform for shit."
Yeah.
Or they're gonna be like, "That dude was hard, but fuck, you gotta see that motherfucker live." Like,
Exactly.
Next time he pulls up, we gotta go see him. It's like that's it's either there's no in between. It's
Right.
either that or that. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
It's amazing. So it's a shame in the you only get in the rap game for the money and the fame. You already had a level of consciousness where you were thinking ahead. Most motherfuckers were on some lowrider shit, which is cool, it's representing the coast. You were already holding down the love for this hip hop shit on one of your first singles ever. If I'm correct, that was one of your first singles that actually
That
made it
was
to
the first
MTV
single
and
ever.
blew, right?
Yeah.
What was your mindset when you were recording that song? Like, what was your thought process? Like what were you at mentally?
That was, man, when you get in the studio, and at the time, when you got signed, that was a big deal. To have a recording contract with a company that, put money behind you to release a record to the world, and that's like getting drafted to the league. You know what I'm saying? At that time, that was like getting, a NFL or NBA contract. So when you get in there, and I didn't have a lot of coaching, or I was really strong-minded at the time of where I felt hip-hop was. And there was like the shiny shoe, pop rap that we were kind of against. And then there was the underground shit, right? And so it was some people that was, only in it for that hype. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about the culture. They don't give a fuck about being lyrical. They just wanted money. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, it kind of opened the door for a lot of other bullshit to come in and fuck with the purity of the hop. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, even though I was on the West Coast, I was still a big fan of all of the things that I had been a fan of as a kid, from the East Coast, from down south, you know what I'm saying, Poison Clan, the EPMD, the fucking Rakim, the fucking Run DMC, all these, Poor Righteous Teachers, all these things that have formed my love for the music. I was like, really, like, what am I gonna say? You know what I'm saying? I was 19 years old at the time. So when I came up with Paparazzi, it was basically, this is my flag, and I'm planting it in the ground. This is what I stand for. This is what I'm about. And so it was kind of like that was my mindset at the time. That's what I wanted that song to embody. And I think it captured it in a way that was like, I don't know it all, but here's what I think is right. And that's why Paparazzi came out. Like, that's why I wrote that. It's a shame niggas in the rap game only for the money and the fame, extra large. If that's all you going for, you're not gonna be here that long.
Straight up.
You
have a short lifespan. You already had the mentality, and the music was already ahead of the game, because a lot of the music at that time was depending on Parliament samples. A lot of leads, a lot of West Coast Zap remakes. This was all orchestrated and like synth and like really, really musical already. So it was like
G-Funk, man.
Straight on a different level. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a beautiful thing to see that you were coming already carving a new sound in your very beginning of your rise. I think that shit's fucking dope as fuck. Obviously, that song became popular to the point where it caught Pac and the Outlaw's attention. What was your mentality when you thought, like, well, these fools are like saying my shit in the song? You weren't dissing nobody. You know what I'm saying? Well, how did that take you? What were you thinking? Like, what the fuck are these fools thinking? Like, what were you like taken aback? Were you like, at that time was the competitive like, okay, now I got Pac's attention, it's time to battle? Like, what was the mentality at that point?
No, I was not talking about Tupac at all. And me and Edie, we did a song called One Nation.
Yeah, I saw
just
that.
recently. Yeah,
this is hard. Shout out Edie.
And we actually sat down and had a conversation when we first hooked up and linked up. And man, it was purely a misunderstanding. And And because I said, because Pac had a song where he said, all I want is the money and the fame, you know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
You know?
Yeah.
And he thought I was talking about, so
Yeah.
it could have been solved in an easy phone call. You know what I'm saying? Because Edie was like, yo, Pac was a fan. The motherfucker loved all the shit you was doing. He thought you was a spitter.
Yeah.
He just didn't know how to take that. He didn't know where you was coming at. And then you have to understand that everybody was coming at Pac at that time.
That moment, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a lot of issues with a lot of different folks. So he was just like, you know, he was just going at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was just going at who he thought was going at him. So, you know, Pac really didn't address it. You know what I'm saying?
At all.
You know, it was Edie, and then we had a conversation. It was good to go full circle to be, to be able to do that now and have conversations about it now, and go to Saudi Arabia and you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and meet up with Noble and the rest of the cats. You know what I'm
Get
saying?
money now.
Yeah, and it's dope, man, because unfortunately Pac is not here, you know what I'm saying? And I won't be able to have that conversation with him, but it was good to talk to the people that was around him and really get an understanding of what that
Got
was.
it. So you never got to even actually chop it up with him while he was alive?
I saw him one time.
Got it.
One time at the House of Blues.
Got it.
You know, and he hopped out of this fucking drop top fucking, I think it was a Bentley or Rolls, or one of them.
Yeah.
He hopped out, man, walked right up to me, dap, went inside, like, man,
that's what it was
respect. It got on stage, burnt the shit down, and then that was it. The last time I saw him in person.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I have to say that's a battle or a competition, a war that I'm glad never happened.
Oh,
and I'm
man.
glad that shit just came and went, because obviously that is a very powerful camp. You're a very powerful artist. I think that it just would have been a waste of time, because at the end of the day, you guys are both burning the shit down for the West Coast.
Absolutely.
And look how God works. It wasn't meant to be. It just
Yeah.
ended up becoming something that was talked about and something that fizzled out and showed that people could still stand together no matter what. You know
Yeah,
what
for
I'm saying?
sure.
And I think that's an amazing thing. So working your way up the ladder and climbing up, you were originally with Loud Records. I believe that was the original contract. Working your way up and getting to a point where you start getting to open bar, and then you're doing your own thing, creating your own company, and doing what you're doing under your own entity. How was that transition at that moment of hip hop? I know labels used to be clamping down on their artists. Was that a struggle to get out of your old contract, or what was that like?
Well, okay, so let me explain how that happened. I signed a production deal before I signed my record deal. That production deal, believe it or not, was called Jack Move Productions.
Oh, shit. Manifestation. That's crazy.
Jack Move Productions was a couple of guys. I'm not gonna say no names, but I thought that they had my best intentions in mind, right? Mm-hmm. And so they had me and King T, right? Mm-hmm. So a week or so before I signed my record deal, the two guys that ran Jack Move Productions got caught for embezzlement from MCA Records.
Oh shit!
And so everything that they did, they were shut down. It was no longer a production company. They were in legal trouble. They couldn't go into other contracts. But Loud Records had already built my contract up, and they were ready for me to sign. And so they had me sign the same contract as if I was Jack Move Productions. But now they didn't change the language in the contract. So it read as damn near a label deal. You know what I'm saying? I control the budgets. I can control, the release of the records. I had a certain amount of records I had to turn in. Wow. There was no digital rights. At the time, there was no internet, so there was no streaming, nothing in it. You know what I'm saying? It was just like how many records. It was a shit ton of records. It was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Fucked up deal. And so what they didn't expect me to do is read. They didn't expect me to read the contract and actually try to exercise the rights I had as the production company. And so when I started doing it, they was like, "Oh well, hold the fuck on, man. You have to you're an artist. You have to do this. No, this contract says this." And so it was a tug of war. I put out 2 records. My first single went gold in Germany. My first touring experiences over there. So I didn't really have a lot of help. It was like I was trying to, fight these fights and act like I knew what I was doing, but it's just like those rat traps. When you put your hand on one, that it's stuck to you, and you try to get it off, and it's just now it's all over you. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to do the best I could with what I had. And so I remember there was a breaking point where we did What You See Is What You Get. The What You See Is What You Get video hit at the atmosphere. It was like, this video that was cut together, 13 different shots. And I did it with every director that I tried to get my idea out to was like, it's impossible. There was one guy named Gregory Dark. He was a porn director.
Oh shit.
And he was like, "Fuck yeah, we can do that." You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, "Yes."
He had the vision.
You know what I'm saying? He has visions.
Yeah.
So we cut this thing together. It ended up being like #1 everywhere. It got nominated for Source Awards, #1 on BET, #1 everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And that was my first single, and I had a whole album to do. After the success of that video, you expect to be supported from the label. I was told, yeah, that was good. Go back and make another album.
Shit.
I had just released 1 single off that. They didn't even let me ramp up to do the rollout for the complete album. So I was pretty pissed. So I kind of like did at that point I was out. I was frustrated. I was making miracles happen with matchsticks. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a real big budget. There wasn't a lot of fucking. This was just for the love of what I was doing. And I was making miracles happen. And so I felt disrespected. So then I was like, "Fuck these motherfuckers." And then I just went off, and they could care less. Then I got hot as fuck. And Dre put me on his record. And then Snoop, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Snoop put me on his record. Did Bitch Please. Bitch Please led to Chronic 2001. Chronic 2001 led to Up in Smoke. Up in Smoke led to a whole bunch of Fuck You. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And so pretty soon it was just like, Loud was like, you're a loud recording artist, right? I was like, fuck you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was really pissed at the time. And so eventually the conversation was had. I was trying to get off Loud. I was trying to get off Sony. I was trying to go to Aftermath. That didn't happen. They didn't want to let me go. And so it was just like, okay, well, you got to do some shit then. You know what I'm saying? So that's where Open Bar came from. I want to put my own records out. I want bigger budgets. I want to be supported as an artist. If Dre, that's my dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's looked out for me more than anyone in the music industry, hands down. You know what I'm saying? Not only with business advice, but actually opportunity to showcase my music in the way that it's supposed to be done and not half-ass my shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, he's the only person that I'm the only person that he's with and produced for outside of his own label.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he produced, if you look on those records, when I did Restless, executive produced by Dr. Dre. Like, to be able to utilize his music and utilize his platform without actually being signed to him is a testament of how he looked out for me. You know what I'm saying?
How much respect he has for your flow and how much he took liking
to you. Right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, that's why, I'll always give it up for the folks that did right. You know what I'm saying? It did real. Yeah. And he's always been that,
You're one of his writers. It's like it's obvious, like you guys write together in the way that it's like you're one of his like heavy hitters. You could tell, like Dre's proud to have you right there.
I'll never turn my back on Dr. Dre. I'll never say a bad thing about Dr. Dre ever.
That's beautiful, brother. And you could really see that transcends through the music all the way to the lifestyle of what you guys put into the world, man. It's a beautiful thing. So when was the moment that you actually got that first call? Because I want to rewind a little bit. There's a bar that I think is some hard ass shit. And I think being in the studio with these cats was legendary. And I think that this came, you could correct me, I want to know the time frame, but this place is my house. I might as well erase my face with whiteout, because y'all can't see me like Mace's eyebrows. Eminem said that shit on the track, homie, with you guys. And I was like, what the fuck? And then everybody was representing. They had KRS-One. Everybody was busting. And all of a sudden, out of this fucking hard-ass castle, you see these big-ass 2 white bull mastiffs. And the homie Xzibit right there spitting in slow motion, and 2 fucking bull mastiffs trying to get you, and you're just like, ah. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is going on, homie?
Yeah, that's the...
Tell me about that.
The Tech and Sway.
That shit was
the anthem.
hard, homie. Tell me that whole session, how that whole shit went down. That's legendary.
That was actually their idea. They they came with and they had access to all of us. Yeah. The Wake Up Show was kind of like the platform. That was how you got to be heard nationwide. Their show was syndicated. So it was
viral
like
before viral.
Exactly. That was the only way to go viral was on the Wake Up Show. So every battle hardened MC cut their teeth on the Wake Up Show. We would go up there religiously to shut shit down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we wanted new cats to come up there so we could bust their ass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we enjoyed it when we met other people that took it as seriously as we did. You know what I'm saying? So when Tech and Sway called us to be on that, it was like we pulling the best of the best spitters, and they involved us in that. So shout out to Tech and Sway. They were the platform. They were viral before viral.
Yeah, and that was before the Dre's and the Snoop connections, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you were on the track, and that was Eminem before Eminem was Eminem. He wasn't the big star that everybody knew yet. He was still. I remember that was like around the Ruckus Records compilations with Mos Def and Common and all these cats, Pharoah Monch and all the hip hop records, right? And I remember even back then he was busting so hard. Yeah. So did you guys all do that like in the session together, or was like everybody just spitting at different times?
No, everybody sent their stuff in at different times. I went to Tech's house to record my part. Wow. I remember that. Yeah.
And when you heard that shit, when it was complete, when you guys shot the video and it hit the world, did you know like, damn, I'm starting to become a part of some hip hop royalty shit, or didn't hit you yet?
I never looked at it that way.
Damn. Well, let me tell you, homie, that's exactly what the fuck it is. That shit was a very proud moment because we knew, like realistically, like no disrespect to nobody, but you could have had a Snoop right there, you could have had anybody, but nobody would have been able to represent with them kind of cats, the KRS-Ones, the Eminems, them cats, the way that Xzibit could spit it. I mean, I'm just being straight up. I'm a fan of the West Coast from the beginning to the end, and I don't think very many people would have had that presence. And the way that you came out like that, it was really raw, homie, and I think that shit was dope. So when you switch from that, and then you start picking up from working with Dre, and then you come full circle and working with Eminem again, and then you start getting on the Bitch Pleases and all these type of songs and the different songs that really level up your career, that take you to the fuck you moments, right? You still didn't realize. You didn't realize that it was taking your life to a different level. You didn't realize that this shit was like in every single fucking car in the West Coast, California, every single person's voicemail, every single fucking party, every single hood spot, every single bud spot. Like, you didn't realize that shit?
Look, when Bitch Please came out, that was my first time on MTV. Like full rotation. Okay. Like, Paparazzi had did his thing. What you see is what you get. It did his thing. It stayed on the rap charts. It was good with all the rap music. But Bitch Please was in like coming on after motherfucking Britney Spears and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was motherfucking everywhere, playing every top rotation, top 2 record. You know what I'm saying? From here to New York. You know, that was when I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like rolling down the street and hearing like that was the moment I was like, oh shit, it's getting different. Okay. Because I was like, I had blinders on. I was just so grinding. You know what I'm saying? Just to get. I wanted my music to be respected. I wanted my music to be like, you know, when you talk about, you know, who's spitting or who's doing that. That's where I want it, right? And so now there was this big component that it was just like, now this is like a worldwide thing, right? Then when we got on when we got on the Up in Smoke tour, and I started doing What's the Difference, and the reviews started coming out on the shows, and people were coming to, you know, give us props, and my name was starting to really bubble. And then I became one to watch, and then all of a sudden, my album shit platinum. Damn. And I was like, okay, we're cooking with fucking gas now, baby.
Yeah. Then you really knew.
Yeah, I was like, the numbers don't lie. You know what I'm saying? You could believe, you know, what you want, but the numbers is really gonna show you what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was at that point in my career, the hustle was I mean, the money was matching the hustle. Everybody was happy. The management was happy. You know, it felt like we had righted the ship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you're shipping platinum. It's a different time. Now you're basically going viral with the record all over MTV. Life's changing. Crowds are getting bigger. Different type of opportunities in your life. You said you had the blinders on. You were very focused, but there had to be a moment when you left that motherfucking studio with Dre for the first time that you were like, damn, I just really work with Dre. Like, you didn't have none of those moments. You were just so like, fuck it.
The bitches start treating you different.
All right. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bitches treat you way differently.
Hell yeah. That's an amazing
I was like,
that's when you were able to tell.
That's how, man, we was young, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went from like bitches saying, ugh, to bitches saying, ooh. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. That's hard. Now, one thing that I noticed of anybody that's been very successful, and every person that I've interviewed that really has taken it to a level of legendary status, I should say, whether it's in MMA, whether it's boxing, whether it's production, or an artist as yourself, is that I didn't never hear nobody in these days. The motivation is different, but I don't hear people saying like, yeah, I wanted to get rich. I want to do this shit for the money. It's like, if you don't have the true love for this shit, like you said, it wasn't about no paper. It wasn't about being the best. It was about having respect as a lyricist and putting that shit and carving a bar up and setting a bar up in the West Coast that wasn't previously set on a commercial level, right? Because that's what I believe that you did. I know that there was the Crooked Eyes, there was the Far Sides, all that, and they were dope, but they didn't take it to the commercial level. They didn't take it to a lyrical level that got played right after Britney Spears. You feel me? So that's why I give you your flowers as a person that took that shit to all the way over there, right? There has to be a moment where you realize, okay, now I'm on this totem pole on the West Coast. Now I'm getting these phone calls from film directors, different stuff like that. Obviously, Eminem took a liking to you guys, had a relationship. What was it like becoming on movie sets, and what was the transition of going from hip hop to like, okay, now Hollywood's calling?
Well, that was, I could do music in my sleep, but acting is something I have to work at. And the way that I got into doing film came from doing TV first. So Pimp My Ride was the first of its kind. It was the first kind of reality show that, somebody who had credibility in hip hop to go actually do. It was like uncharted waters. I got so many phone calls saying, why the fuck are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like we ride out. You know what I'm saying? So, but now we were going somewhere where we were ahead of things. You know what I'm saying? And that turned me into a household name. Now, hip hop music is a worldwide, it's a $1 billion industry, multi-billion dollar industry. But TV is everything. You know what I'm saying? It is in everybody's house. Whether you know, it was people that knew me that never even heard or knew of me making music. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole new audience. We talk of soccer moms who knew who I was and knew my name and my face and my likeness. Damn. Never heard nothing on hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So my audience grew 1,000 times bigger from there. And people weren't really putting two and two together at the time. So when you have that, at the time it was called a Q rating. A Q rating is, you know, how recognized are you to the public? So at one point, at the height of Pimp My Ride, my Q rating was higher than the Pope's.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hard.
Like, so from that, because they played it so much. You know what I'm saying? And so from there, nigga, Hollywood, of course, was like, what? We just want to put asses in the seats. So they gave me a movie. They gave me a movie. Damn. I didn't even have to audition for the shit. I was in Triple X 2.
Hell yeah, I remember that.
With Ice Cube. Mm-hmm. Never acted a day in my life. I was like, yeah, I'll do the fucking movie. Did the movie, had fun doing the movie, got some great acting tips from Cube on the spot, but then I watched it back on the big screen. Now on TV, you in people's living room, you about to, you know, you small, you small on the screen compared to yourself in real life. On the movies, your face is 60 feet tall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they see every fucking thing that, you know what I'm saying? Like everything, every wrong thing you do, and like we having this conversation now, right?
Yeah.
It feels very comfortable.
Yeah.
Your facial expressions don't change or nothing. You know exactly how the fuck you looking at me.
Yeah.
On the movie, if you don't know what the fuck you doing, your eyes going all weird. You are reacting weird. You know that.
Yeah.
Your shit ain't. You know.
Nah.
Yeah.
I know.
Like you think you doing a good job until you see that motherfucker play back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I fucking suck. You know what I'm saying? So then I knew at that point, didn't matter about whether I liked it or not. They just wanted to put asses in the seats, and they knew my name would do that. So I was like, okay, so if I don't take this serious, they're gonna just run it out until I'm not popular anymore and then drop me like a hot sack of rocks. Started taking acting lessons. Started taking it serious, did more work, didn't expect the game to come to me. I went for it. I worked hard for it. So I started doing auditions, and I hate auditions. I hate you're literally going into a room to be judged. That is literally what an audition is.
That's crazy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be judged. It's
And
like,
scrutinized, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I started taking it very seriously. Got with a really dope acting coach and really just worked on my craft. So that led to Gridiron Gang, working with The Rock, working with, the X-Files, you know what I'm saying? Doing all kinds of independent films, doing, things, working with Nicolas Cage, Jennifer Aniston, Clive Owen. These are big movies, you know what I'm saying? And it takes work to do that. So, that's why, I really want to focus on, putting certain things down and picking other things up. I can't do it. I used to want to do it all. And it was wearing me out, and, it led to endless nights, and, like, it wasn't healthy. So for me, being able to prioritize what was important to me, and at the same time, I got kids, I got, family, I got, I have to make time for these things. And if you don't make time or take time, you'll never have it. You know what I'm saying? So I had to start kind of prioritizing where that was, and I really had to like take a seat back and figure out what do I want to do to make me happy. So I figured out what that was, and now that's the way I move around it now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So did you enjoy making the movies, or was it kind of complicated to you, or what was the overall experience as far as compared to the music?
I love making films because it is a different expression of creativity. And even though I have to work at it, and you know what I'm saying, and I do things that challenge me from, or I try to do things or accept things that challenge what my background is. To play an FBI agent is totally different than my upbringing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To play a football coach. I've never played football in my life, but I played one on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's what it is, though. Challenging myself to do that, and it was difficult. It's hard remembering things that don't rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. and remembering remembering the feeling in the moment of the scene, which is a total different thing.
Yeah.
It's not like music videos where you have one note. You have to have many notes in a variety of ways to do a scene, and that takes work. You know what I'm saying? And I love to do films. It's a different expression of what we already do when we create this music. I get the same gratification from building a business as I do from making the music, as I do from making the film. So I just keep pushing myself to do things that people say I can't do. And then when I come back successful, it's not like a ha, fuck you, I told you I could do it. It's just like how I choose to spend my time. You know what I'm saying? We all got the same 24 hours of the day. I choose to be productive.
Hell yeah.
Even when I'm not being productive, I'm thinking of things that's going to have to be done the next day.
That's hard as fuck. Well, I'll tell you what, and I'll tell you a moment of my life that was a celebration, and you had something to do with it. And it was a very moment of pride, and I thank you for it. You probably don't even realize it. But my first movie was Bright with David Ayer.
Yeah.
And that shit was a life-changing experience. I never tried to act. I just got the call, got upgraded on set, the whole shit, right? So the night of the red carpet, you know, we're staying at the Mondrian right there in Hollywood. We just posted up, suited up, limoed up. My family's all together, my brother, everything, my wife. And I remember my phone was blowing up that day. We had a videographer, photographer, everything. It was like the moment, like the life, like almost like a wedding or your prom, right?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget getting that text from Xzibit. And I looked at my phone. I remember we were in the Mondrian, I was sipping with my wife. We were having a little champagne. And he said, my J just wanted to say congrats. I'm pulling up to the red carpet to support. I will never forget that shit. And I was like, looked at my family. I said, Xzibit just texted me and said he's pulling up. And I was like, man, we pulled up. I saw you on the red carpet taking pictures. I was like, wow. That's when I felt like my life has changed. It's like from the music to the acting shit. Now I just got homies like you coming up to support. That shit was amazing, dog. Thank you for that, homie. That was the love. And on one of these shots, I know it keeps on pulling up. You stole fucking King Tut's chain or something. You were right there on the red carpet. I was like, holy fuck, the fuck's going on? I took like a 5% of it, made this one. This one's like a pound, so I know that shit was like 10 pounds or some shit. This is your little primo right here, your chain right here. But yeah, man, you came out shining like a motherfucker that day.
Man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, also I wanted to ask you about touring, period. Like, you've been all over the world. You've been able to touch, like you said, Germany. You've been able to I see you guys touch places and faces that the average hip-hop artist will never be able to reach. What is an experience that you took back from a part of the world, or what have you been taking? What is your favorite part of touring? Like, what is it like hitting these places in the world that it's like they don't even understand the language sometimes, but they know every fucking word of the song?
That's right.
Yeah.
Even though the world is a big place, it's very small. But there's a lot of people here that love what we do. You got to get out of here and go see it.
Yeah.
If you consider yourself an artist, don't be regional, be international. Go rock the planet. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And you got people everywhere. So I've been everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I'll continue to go everywhere, because even though I've been, a lot of places, I haven't been everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I want to go and rock until I can't. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's the great part about it, man. My first touring experiences were in Europe. And then I ended up, I've been every country, every continent, you know what I'm saying? I've touched somewhere, you know what I'm saying, except China. They won't let me in China for nothing. Nah, I curse too much. My content. Them motherfuckers send my shit. You got to send your shit in to be like kind of like okay like to be letting it. Yeah, they come on, man.
Damn, how'd they let Mr. Criminal into China?
Choke me, spank me, pull my hair. They're not letting that shit over there.
I flew under the radar because I performed in Beijing like 5 months before the damn coronavirus. And my homie, my team, and everything were like, man, we probably brought that shit over there. And brought that shit back. We're in the alley eating scorpions and shit. I remember the homies were like, we're trying to go to this famous market, and the whole Chinese crew was like, hell no, we ain't going there. They were trying to tell us it was closed, that it was shut down. I pulled some shit up, and I was like, oh no, I see some shit on Instagram. It was posted yesterday. They're all looking at each other like, fuck, and they took us, and we're like, out of the whole crew, we're the only fools in there. 2 Americans just grubbing on everything in that fucking alley. So I think it was a bad situation. Yeah. Don't blame that shit on me. But damn. Yeah, that China shit's trippy. I was on the Beijing Wall. What do you call it? The Great Wall of China?
Yeah, Great Wall, yeah.
And we're just mobbing through, just some average fucking, Chinese citizens. No hip-hop shit, no meet and greet, just on some incognito shit. I had my beanie on, a scarf. It was cold as fucking. A couple Chinese girls were just like, Mr. Criminal, and just running up to me. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like, that's a moment like that tripped me out. Did you ever have a moment like in another country where just like, it just blew your mind, like the way that people reacted to you?
Yeah, I mean, everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know,
there's too many.
Yeah, I think the weirdest thing that's ever happened is it wasn't even overseas. It was here, and it was on. It was the Up and Smoke tour, and this guy came up, and he had every single one of my tattoos in the same place I got them.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I thought it was like cool at first, and then I was like, oh wait
a second.
Yeah, this shit is weird. Hold up, nigga. Like,
yeah, that sounds a little freaky.
Like, hold up, man. Like, what are you looking at? Like, to have all these things in the right place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, he's like, look, he took his shirt off. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Hey, security.
He's like, and I got this shit from Mr. Cartoon too.
No, they weren't like perfect, but they were like the same ones in the same place.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I think that was the weirdest thing that ever happened. Now I've had other people put tats. I've seen it in cool like 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? But that he had every single one, which was fucking crazy.
So you were one of the first artists that were out here representing and actually doing these cartoon tats, and then you were one of the first artists. I remember the Criminal set. You had it. It's his brother, just his homie, Estevan.
Oh, that's his homie.
It's his homie. Yeah. He actually shot and produced the video.
Yeah.
How was that? Like that whole feel? Was it a different transition? Was like, because you're used to working with like $1 million budgets and big ass labels, and now you got a little homie from the hood doing it with a camera. Like, how'd that feel?
Nah, that's my family right there.
Yeah.
Mr. Cartoon, to see him and how he built his empire, and Estevan, like, you know, they have a grasp on the culture, not just a LLC. They come from the creative part of a culture that can't be duplicated, imitated. It can't. You know what I'm saying? They formed a love for what they could do in the culture and turn something that people would, like penmanship, turned into tattoo artists, turned into a multi-million-dollar organization. You know what I'm saying? Like, you try to go get a tattoo from Mr. Cartoon right now and not have at least $20,000, $100,000 on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's that important to the culture, and he deserves that recognition. Same with Esteban. He's been everything to so many people on the coast. You know what I'm saying? So for him for both of them to enjoy what I do and want to be a part of it and treat me like an insider is amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I have a tremendous amount of respect for what they do, who they are, and what they've accomplished.
Hell yeah. So from the streets of Albuquerque, New Mexico, being awarded to the state, to being in the studio and being on the Sway and Tech show, to burning motherfuckers up, to being able to be on songs with KRS-One and these cats, to all the way to being in the studio with Dre and Snoop and the Eminems, to then being sitting in the middle of the ocean in Italy and Greece and these places you guys travel to on a private intimate situation where it's just on some homie shit with Dr. Dre and his people, his family. What the fuck is that like, my G? When I see just pictures and I see you guys post, I put my head down. I'm like, what the fuck is going on out there? Like, these dudes are like on their own country on a boat, dog. Have you ever seen them pictures, Crit? It's on a whole nother level, dog.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen hip hop artists do that shit to that level. And then the way that you guys do it as a family, you guys go like for his birthday or some shit like that. Like, how does that work out?
I mean, it's a privilege to, you know, be involved and be around people who care for their family that much, you know. And I'm believing right there. You know, what personal shit is personal shit. You know what I'm saying? And when we go out there, it's kind of like we leaving
everything behind.
And we're going out there to kind of reset and. You know, like it's really dope to be able to be part or invited to those type of events. So
dope, and that's exactly why you're in those circles, because it's an elite. It's like almost like a damn secret society. You know what I'm saying? It's like shut the fuck up. As a matter of fact, we're gonna edit this part out. How about that? You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing, though, and that's why that shows that loyalty. And I knew that's a private thing. That's a thing that motherfuckers don't get that even that look, just to see a photo on Instagram is a blessing to be able to be just to celebrate and say, you know what, the homies are doing it like that. Toast, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, somebody
like
out there doing
I don't get
it.
around the homies like I know, like it weirds me out. Like when I go different places and the first thing somebody do is like, yo, let me get a snap, let me get. They ask for a picture, but they filming a fucking video. Like, you nigga, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like the art of getting an autograph has been lost. You know what I'm saying? That nobody wants a fucking autograph.
The classiness.
They want a picture or a video to prove that they were there next to you, which is weird as fuck to me because it doesn't make you live longer. You know what I'm saying? It was just, but it's so important now because for some reason it makes them important.
Hell yeah.
And that's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I never get around the homies and be like, hey, let's get a shot. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's an occasion, unless everybody's like kind of like, all right, saying goodbye or like, oh, let me get a picture or something like that. But other than that, man, like we walk in the room and you'll never know, man. I'll be with cats all week and never take my phone out one time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more than that. You know what I'm saying? It's not keeping up appearances. It's not the look. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck the look. Are you actually contributing and doing something? And is this helping the bottom line? Like, hell yeah. Like I'll never get used to how important that is to people now. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's be doing something though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So those rare glimpses that you guys get on my Instagram from when I'm doing something that I try not to involve or look who's in the room. You know what I'm saying? And I be in some really important rooms. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see the importance of being like, oh hey, look at me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm doing something.
And that's why you're in those situations. Yeah. Because you know how to value it, you know how to keep it private. I'm pretty sure most of those people don't want that shit out there anyway. So that's why they know. They're like, my soldier's out there. If anything's gonna get caught up anything's ass, he's gonna shut that down quick because you guys got that confidentiality, and that's just respectable.
Yeah, everything ain't for everybody.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't want to see pictures of your motherfucking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and your fucking dogs taking a shit, and your motherfucking, and your donuts, and your shopping bags, and your what you just got from the store, and you know,
it gets to be too much.
Like, fuck, man, do something.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Create something.
Get out there and make some
You know what I'm
shit.
saying?
That's gonna last more than a picture.
Exactly.
Nah, that makes sense. Taking it back to a professional level, from the private life, what is something that you get from being around these type of levels? Like when I called you the other day, or you hit my line, you were like, I'm gonna try to pull up on this day, but dudes mixing the records. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like when you're in the studio, do you feel like a pressure, or do you have like a level of like, okay, I need to make sure this is cool before I pass it off to the hands that are gonna mix this? No. Or it's just you that doesn't fuck with the creative process. That level of pressure is not there.
No, I've been through the process so many times. I trust the people I work with.
It's normal. It's just normal. So you're at the level of where whatever you do, you don't got to worry about it. Whoever you pass it off to, it just goes in a circle like that.
Yeah.
That's a
It
beautiful
comes
thing.
with trust.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. So Xzibit the businessman. Now, where did it come into the place where you go into the cannabis play? Because you went into the cannabis play and you didn't only just dive into it. A lot of artists came in and went. Celebrities came in and went. They used their celebrities. They came in, they fell off. You understood the business side of it, and you were able to encompass the whole side of it and learn how to do the festivals and integrate the music, merchandise, the celebrity with it, and it became a long-lasting play. How did that come into play?
Getting fucked over in music.
Damn. Learning that business aspect.
Well, yeah, it's called the music business for a reason.
Yeah.
You can't just love the music and not the business.
Straight up.
So building things from the ground up and subsidizing incomes and building different revenue streams, you learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go to college. I went to the School of Hard Knocks and I learned everything that way. You know, I got to touch it from the ground up. I got to build it from the ground up. I want to touch the dirt. I want to touch the grime. I want to touch everything in order to get to the clean. You know what I'm saying? And knowing, you know, all of that experience, especially knowing who to fire when they're not doing their fucking job, was all part of it. So when I came into cannabis, it was like I could bring my creative process and figure out how to bring the same kind of level of creativity into my cannabis businesses as I do with my music. And not everybody can do that, you know what I'm saying? And see a vision. Like I could see the steps, I could see it, I could reverse engineer it. I know exactly what I need to do when I get, you know, some people need a calendar. I make my own calendar. I know what steps I need to do and how long it's gonna take me to get there. And get up every day until it's done. You know, like a lot of people don't have that drive. They need to be told what to do or given a step-by-step booklet, you know what I'm saying? And it don't exist. So, you know, with cannabis, it was just, again, trying to create things that I had interest in. You know, I've never worked a day in my life because I love what I do. You know what I'm saying? So I've been able to, you know, bring that same kind of passion into cannabis. My first brand was Brass Knuckles, became like the vape brand across the whole fucking planet. And of course, you know, money changes everything. So when that fell apart, I started Napalm, and that's mine. You know what I'm saying? And we still, even in the rough, turbulent market, because we only work in a legal space. Now the black market, traditional market, whatever you want to call it, is thriving. It's alive and well.
Yeah.
But we have a vision for the long game, and we want to be here when all of that shit gets shut down. You know what I'm saying? And so we plan on keeping our nose clean and keeping everything done until that happens for us. Mm-hmm. And so we're making the steps that it takes in order to do so. But again, this is like one of the things that I do. You know, cannabis has changed my life dramatically. And it's given me the creative license to go back and do music because I want to do it, not because I have to do it.
Hard.
And now that I'm creating from that place, and you know, kind of shed a lot of the dead weight and a lot of the nonsense and a lot of the chips I had on my shoulder, being able to release all of that and let it go and not really lose sleep over it, I feel really good about the place we are and the way things are set up. You know what I'm saying? Now, nothing's gonna be perfect, but there's still a lot of work I want to do. But now I'm able to be present for that work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be juggling 1,000 things. You know what I'm saying? And really focus on what's important.
Hell yeah. And I would say that the concepts are still dope and innovative. I mean, fuck, you got a grenade as a motherfucking joint that you like. I mean, that shit is so next level, the concept. Like, is that something that you personally touched and you were like, I need my shit to be in a grenade? That was something you concepted.
Yeah, I everything everything in Napalm was created by me. As far as the packaging, design, the logo, all of that was what actually our flagship SKUs and items are. I name, design, and produce everything with a really dope team. You know, we have manufacturing throughout the state of California, going into Nevada, going into, you know, Washington and Oregon, and eventually just working with a team of people that want to see the success of the brand.
Man, and I think it's another testament, and it shows of how much you're passionate about your product and your craft of what you put out. Because you could have easily went and got one of those little 10-cent pressed up little plastic bags from China and saved more money. You could definitely tell when you see one of those pieces of glass and the way the plastic pops off, the whole setup, the presentation, that shit is not cheap.
No.
It is not something that's just like a quick little cardboard, a little plastic. Like, you guys put some fucking money, some love into it. So the fact that you guys, it's also like the music. Like, you put more effort into the craft, and then it shines longer. It sounds better. It's sonically pleasing more to the ear. The same thing with the presentation of that. I think that's fucking dope. Hats off to you for not making it a money play. You could definitely tell the people that made it a money play and got in and out, and you could definitely tell the ones that don't. And you could tell when you see a motherfucking napalm brand, you're like, okay, this is no joke. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
This is some big.
And I didn't
shit.
want to make it easy to be bootlegged.
Yeah,
You know
smart.
what I'm saying? I didn't want if you try to duplicate that grenade, you go broke.
Yeah, straight up.
Yo, ass, cause I make that shit in 7 different continents.
Wow.
Hey, the glass come from motherfucking Taiwan. The plastic come from motherfucking SpaceX.
That's
you know what
hard.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's 17 different parts to that bitch. Good luck.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
good
saying?
luck. It's like Elon Musk is right now. He just made a whole new fucking warehouse trying to keep up with the napalm brand. I know about it. Yeah, that's love, man. It's good to see that, and it's dope to see that your love still transpires from products and stuff like that. Yeah. Your love from different hobbies to shooting, collecting guns. I see so many different things that you have love, passion for, but one thing that we definitely have a common bond on is fishing. Speak on it. Like, where did you get your love for fishing? Definitely, I know that it's, for me, it's a clarity of the mind. It's a redemption crowd. It's something about fishing, but like, where did that come from? Where did you learn that from? Where did that come from?
My father.
Hell yeah.
My father used to take me fishing, and he used to, he used to go and use that as a way to find peace. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't understand it at the time. I thought it was boring as fuck. Cause he go lake fishing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what I'm saying? It used to be a chore. And then, cause he made me clean the fish and fucking, bring the wood. We go camping. I'd be out in the tent for fucking days and sitting next to a lake. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we catch, sometimes we wouldn't. But I didn't understand the because I wasn't responsible for shit. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, you know what I'm saying? It's like you just going and time is moving slow. So, when I actually came to California and I met up with Superfly used to go out on the Southern Cal out of Long Beach. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I started going fishing with him. Fell in love with ocean fishing. Oh my God, that was the calling. And then we put 2 and 2 together because now I found a type of fishing that I like to do, and then it just clicked. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was out there, I could focus on that. You get a bite, you bring it on, you out there riding on the boat. It was like I found so much zen going out there on the boats. And so, that's where it is. And then I like to cook I like to cook. So I would take what I needed and then I don't want to waste it. I will, you know what I'm saying? I only kill what I need, you know what I'm saying? So I took that to the house and flayed it. It's already flayed on the boat. Take it to the house, prepare it the way I want to prepare it. And that right there is like, I could do that like over and over again. Because it's a different type of break from the everyday routine,
Yeah, something about looking at that ocean, seeing that sunset, just getting that vibe. Yeah, and I know that you were serious about it because when we were chopping it up in the studio, I think however we were talking about, I was like, yeah, my homie has a dope ass boat. He be fishing all the time. I invited you, and I was like, everybody in Hollywood in the rap game, everybody's like, yeah, I'll pull up, Yeah. And you're like, yeah, where's the address? Where's it at? And I was like, yeah, the homie Xzibit said he's gonna pull up today. I doubt it. He's probably fucking gonna do a show or something today. We put up at that motherfucker 5 a.m. He was like, what's cracking? I'm right here with my
I was like, damn. The homie was punctual and everything, and we were out there slaying that shit on the way to Carolina.
I will fuck you up on the, I will show up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of my word.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
are.
saying?
Yeah.
So when I say I'm pulling up on time.
Yeah, that was dope,
Yeah.
homie. And I remember the homies were looking at me like, this fool really got Xzibit on the boat. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, this fool likes to fish too. And we're out there shit. Yeah, that was dope, homie. I
Yeah.
still remember the homie printed out the picture. He still got it at the crib and shit. But yeah, it's just dope, man. Going from that to realizing that you're still to this day climbing poles and still shattering records. The news just broke the other day, or I think it was today, of Rolling Stone's top West Coast songs, 100 songs in history.
Mm-hmm.
And Get Your Walk On was number 4. 74, 75?
Yeah, 74. So somewhere around there.
Man, how does that feel to still have the accolades, to still, out of the whole generational gap of the West Coast, to still be mentioned with greats like that and still be in this?
It's dope, man.
It's hard, right?
I'm humbled by it. You know, like I still feel like my better days are ahead of me.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like I still got work to do. New project coming, Kingmaker.
Hell yeah.
Really excited about that. I've been working on it for a minute, but I feel like this is going to set a mark that I haven't hit before.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's dope, man. Still challenging yourself and still raising the bar. Man, at the end of the day, we're all, as fans, we're all looking forward to it. What are the things? What's up, big dog? Which one, this one? Oh, it's all good. But we're still recording, right?
Yeah, but it's only on him.
Oh, it's all good. Do you need a minute, or we're wrapping it up anyways? Just a minute? We'll be done in a minute. We're almost finished now.
Yeah.
Because his main shot.
All good. Man, I'm surprised you ain't smoked fucking 3 or 4 of them grenades while you're
Nah. I gotta give my shit a break. I've been fucking smoking since 420.
Yeah, too much, huh?
Yeah, man. Fuck.
After a while, it's a little too much. That's perfect. Cool. Are we back on it?
Yep.
All right, cool. We're gonna get into maybe two more main questions. The game show, and we'll end it. All right. So speaking about being around all these different West Coast artists your whole life, you being someone that's in the marijuana field, what would you say is the most smoked out person other than Snoop Dogg in the rap game that you could say that could smoke a napalm and hang with one of your fucking grenades? Because I know many artists, I'm just gonna keep it real, they act like they smoke, and you get in the studio and then they take a couple of like, pass that shit back. Who could you say, but like, okay, this motherfucker will burn down a couple napalms? I might. This isn't the artist I want to sponsor for my brand.
Damn. Artists that smoke like that.
Yeah. Snoop's a given.
Yeah, I think Be Real.
There it is. There it is.
Duh.
I was waiting for it. I was like,
Be
I want to
Real.
know if you smoked more than Be Real or Be Real smoked more than you. That's what I really want to know.
Man.
Because I know you be puffing.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been in the studio with you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I take pride in my weed lungs. You know what I'm saying? I say my voice and my vocal cords sound like a Black and Mild.
Yeah. That's right. Hey, man.
That's a lyric for one of my new songs anyway.
Hey, man. being someone of influence, and I know not a lot of people do this, and I'm going to give a little bit of insight without going revealing much. You were the first artist, and I've said this before to my private family. I don't put this out there publicly, but you're the first artist that I ever was around. I've been around a lot of artists in my 23 years, been to their crib, shit like that. You were the first artist I ever went to their crib and been like, okay, this motherfucker living like a true rapper. Like you living like a rap star. You walk in, chandeliers, big old pictures of you like Tony Montana. Like the shit is on another level. Private locations, views, supercars. Like, did you ever think that you would take it to that level? Like when you were a kid, when you started rapping, did you ever say, fuck, one day I'm really gonna be able to touch this shit? Or did
Never.
You never? It wasn't even in the fathom.
It wasn't even in the thought process.
That's crazy. That's
You know?
crazy.
All that shit comes, bro. And it's just stuff.
Yeah.
It's just stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's material stuff.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And it can come and it goes and if you're smart about it, you find satisfaction in what you're doing and comfortable in your skin, and don't look at the next man's grass to tell how green yours should be.
Straight up.
And that shit comes, man. Like, if I started chasing what I thought being rich was, then I'd probably be dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's always somebody bigger than you. There's always somebody richer than you. There's always somebody that's going to have more than you. So what are you really doing it for? You know what I'm saying? If you can't be content with what the fuck you're building,
Yeah.
then you're never going to be happy.
Yeah.
So, when things, my grandfather told me, if you can buy it once, you can't afford it. If you can buy it 3 to 4 times, then you can buy it once. You know what I'm saying? Like, simple. Like, he wasn't a rich man. He worked at Ford Motor Company, stamping metal for, and being an umpire for the Detroit Tigers for his whole life, and had 8 kids and a wife that, he went, all of his life with.
Yeah.
So, when these things started happening for me, he didn't have any kind of, insight on what I was going through, but he still felt the need of enforcing the things that made him, financially settled.
Yeah.
And what that meant and what that actually looked like. You know what I'm saying? Nobody told me about taxes. That's why I got a shitload of tax trouble. Nobody taught me of any of the things that I know now. So the things that I know now allow me to, go and make the decisions I need to make,
Yeah.
and I don't do it for no other reasons, man. My shit is all over everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people on the internet that think they know my net worth and doing all this other shit, I don't take pictures of all my shit and put it up there like, oh, look, look, I got all this shit, because it doesn't make me better. It doesn't get my point across. It doesn't make people understand my struggle at all. It just really gets niggas on you to come kill you.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
Making unnecessary attention.
Bringing unnecessary attention.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be known for that. You know what I'm saying? When I go home, I want to enjoy my home. I want to enjoy the things that I've worked for. But it's not, again, it goes back to what I said earlier. Everything is not for everybody.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Like, I like people to think I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
They just keep thinking I'm fucked up. Yup, I'm fucked up. I had to have absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Straight up. And I remember that day at that Airbnb.
Yeah.
that we're overlooking it. Y'all remember we went. You took me through the tour of the upstairs in the master of the Airbnb, and I remember we're looking over the balcony, and you gave me some game that's gonna be personal. I'm not gonna share, but you gave me some business game and some advice as a brother, and that I roll with, and it's definitely changed my life, brother. I mean, I was not encompassing and looking at the business side of what you helped me understand. And when I took off that day, I'll never forget, I looked up at that Airbnb and I said, damn, this is dope. I came here, God led me here for a reason, because I had influence. This man influenced me my whole life with music, and now he influenced me as a brother in the game and took me under his wing and was like, here, I'm gonna give you a little bit more game. And they say, homie, the game's to be sold, not told. So the fact that you opened the doors like that and gave me some love and some time from your busy schedule with your family.
Nah. See,
that was love.
That's where you getting it. There's a little twist to that.
Okay.
Because I could tell 7 motherfuckers in the same room the same information.
Yeah.
But what you have is you have an intelligence about you that people probably are underestimating. And you also have a simple thing about you that is different than everyone else that I could talk to, and that is you listen. And not only do you listen, but you put action behind your words, and I see that you make an effort. You're not afraid to fail, because if you fail, that means you at least you tried. You know what I'm saying? So when I see you doing films and I see you pushing your own line in music and not waiting around for a handout, that means a lot. That I stopped throwing my pearls to swine a long time ago. So I give people information that I know is gonna do something with it. Don't come bang my ear off because you got, 6 months of rapping under your belt and you feel like you ready for the fucking, Rolling Loud. Like, motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like, that may happen once or twice, but, you know what I'm saying? It's not what I choose to support. You know what I'm saying? Like, go at it the best way possible. But especially in the West, it don't matter what, you know what I'm saying, what it is. We brothers united under this W. And that flag is what we fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck what set you from. I don't give a fuck what neighborhood, what you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because what we are doing is, and what we need to preserve is under this W. Because we got to have a music. We got to get back to our own sound. We got to get back to supporting each other. We got to get back to it. So when I reach out and I see leaders, is what I consider you. I consider you a leader. You know what I'm saying? That's why I support you.
Thank you.
That's why I get behind you. That's why I vouch. I stamp. It's called putting a stamp on it. I vouch for you, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like you have something that is necessary in order to make this thing keep going. We need people that stand up on their own too. You know what I'm saying? And people that really are motivated, self-starters, self-disciplined. You know what I'm saying? And then hopefully, I would rather push that line and put that in front of people as something to, you know what I'm saying, be up with. You know what I'm saying? That's who I support. You know what I'm saying? I don't wait to see who's popular on the fucking TikTok channel to support them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know who's moving in the street. I know who's moving who's moving the needle. Let's go fuck with them. And that's why I fuck with you, homie.
Man, I appreciate it, X. And that shit's humbling as fuck. To my homeboy, rest in peace, Ruben. You were one of his favorite rappers. And I remember he's the one that brought your music to me. And I remember he used to bump the Foundation so much. And he didn't even have a kid. He'd be like, listen to this shit, homie. The way that this dude spit this shit and everything. There was a line in that song where you're talking about the police. Mm-hmm. You're talking about by the time you come of age, they probably blast on sight. Mm-hmm. You were a visionary, homie. You've seen that since back then. Mm-hmm. The way that this world is going, the way that things are going, is getting in a heavy place. Mm. More love needs to come out. That's why we're doing these podcasts. That's why at the end of my stuff, I pray. That's why we're here to celebrate people like you. What would you say if you could look back to the young Xzibit, to the one that was still wishing that he could pick up the mic? The one that's just looking at his life as a ward in the state, like didn't know which direction he was going to go, left or right. People were telling him he was going to be fucked up in the streets, wasn't going to be something. Right now, sitting exactly where you are in your life, accomplishing what you've done, what would you tell the little homie?
Don't get married.
Damn. With that raspy ass black and mild voice. Damn. I think he would listen. Something tells me he would listen to
All
that.
fucking top.
Yeah. That's it.
Fuck that shit.
Simple as to that, huh?
Yeah.
That's right. Shit, man.
If that bitch love you, she be in the will.
Yeah, there it is. there it is. Hey, man, that's. Hey, man, that's some classic words, bro. We appreciate you. We appreciate everything you've done for the culture. But before we get up out of here, you are not going to escape.
Yeah.
The Mr. Criminal Game Show.
Okay, let's do it.
And here we go, live in the studio again. We are back on it, Mr. Criminal Game Show. And today's guest, we have the very famous Mr. X to the Z. My homeboy Xzibit. What's cracking, homie?
What's good?
All right, we're gonna make this real simple. We're gonna keep it quick and short. We do the choose like in school to fill up the dots and shit like that. A or B, you know?
Yep.
Mortal Kombat or Street Fighters?
Mortal Kombat.
Who's your favorite player on that motherfucker?
What's the ice motherfucker? Raiden.
Oh, no, that he's electricity.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sub-Zero was the one with the ice.
I like Raiden then.
Okay, so that motherfucker will push you, shock you, the whole shit. Okay, Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis?
Sega Genesis.
Biggie or Pac?
Pac.
Okay. Death Row era or the NWA era?
Death Row era.
There you go. Wintertime or summertime in California?
Summertime.
Okay. Impala or a supercar?
Impala. Duh.
What year? 62? Would you rather have a 62, 63, or 59?
You said 62, 63, or 69?
Or 59. 59.
Oh man, I got a 57.
Oh.
Yeah, Bel Air. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, you went like
yeah,
that.
but if it's got to be Impala, it's got to be the 6'4".
Okay.
Now, if you could go all the way back and take it to the old school hip hop, let's go like this: physical or digital era?
Physical.
Physical. And why is that?
Because you could open up and see and read the credits.
Okay.
And you could see who produced and who worked on the records and where the samples came from and you could see all of that stuff and it was more of an experience.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might get lost on that motherfucker before
Yeah,
you
you're
even
looking
put
at
on
the
record.
art. It was like an extension of the music. It was more tools.
Yeah.
And it captured the audience.
That's why some of them rock records like Megadeth and AC/DC, you still see the motherfuckers on the shirts. Def Leppard to this day because it's so classic. Michael Jackson or Rick James?
Oh shit. Michael Jackson.
Rick James or Prince?
Prince.
Okay, shit, we hitting it like that. All right, well, shit, there we go. I'm gonna ask you. You into boxing? You into fighting, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather have, if you could get rid of one sport, if you had to keep one, would you rather have MMA or boxing?
Oh shit. I like MMA.
I would have to say the same. Politics fucked up boxing.
Yeah.
Especially after that last fight. What the fuck did you think about that, honestly?
Oh, you talking about the
Garcia and Davis?
I don't know, man. I think it was a money grab, man. But I've never been hit that hard in the liver.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was really debilitating like that.
Yeah.
But I think Cuz could have got up. You know what I'm saying?
He could have got up for sure.
Yeah, I think he could have got up.
I
don't know. I think if it's a rematch, would you watch it?
I think just for the conversation, the type of conversation, but I streamed that motherfucker. I ain't paying for it. Got the fire stick loaded up, you feel me? I ain't supporting that shit with my paper. But nah.
I bought it. I bought the fight. It was like $60.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hook you up with the fire stick. Let's keep that between us. I got an extra fucking account. It's all good. Nah, and you see Mayweather out there with them chandeliers on his fucking neck, looking like Liberace and shit.
Hey man, look, dude. I've seen some really tough ass MMA fights, but hey, have you seen that Power Slap League?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
dude.
funny because some artists got into it that I know. I don't want to say names because I don't want to pump up the beef. But somebody had slapped one another at the show, and the homie was posting that shit on his shit all day, and he was putting, "Excuse me, slap league. I would like to apply. I think I have talent." That shit was funny, man. So top 5 dead or alive coming from X to the Z.
Man, top 5 dead or alive. I don't have that. I don't have that list.
You don't have it?
No, I don't have it.
You don't have
the top 5 rappers are still not born yet.
Damn. Okay. I like that. He said, fuck that. We keeping the competition going.
Yeah, let's keep this shit going.
I love that shit, man. Well, thank you for pulling up, X.
Come on,
It's
man.
been a motherfucking pleasure. A childhood dream encompassed all the way from seeing you on TV, hearing you and my homeboys in the neighborhood banging and being a gangbang mentality to getting into a professional level to being introduced to you by my brother Cam, being able to witness everything that you've done for the culture. I support. I salute you, and I give you your flowers, homie. And I appreciate having a homeboy like you and a brother in the game, homie.
Likewise,
And I
man.
truly
Come on,
appreciate
man.
it.
We linked up, man. We family. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So whatever you do, I'm gonna support. I know you gonna support me the same. So that's what it is.
Always, homie.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. Make sure you guys all get you some napalm. Make sure you support Xzibit's new album. What'd you say? The Kingmaker was the new album, right?
Yep.
Kingmaker. Follow
yep.
him on Instagram. Follow everything. Make sure you tap in with his grand openings to his new stores that will be opening up soon. That's a coming to be manifestation on the way. And thank you for pulling up.
Oh,
homie.
come on, every time, man.
Let's keep doing it.
Thank you.
Before we get up out of here, I respect everyone's religions and their beliefs, but I always got to give it up to my creator and make sure that we ask for a blessing for the rest of the week. Father God, I come to you tonight to thank you for this blessing of this week, another successful show. We had our brother Xzibit pull up with his testimony and his success and his celebration of his musical talent going to a whole worldwide success and career. We thank you for every single subscriber and every single supporter out there that taps in and listens to these stories. We thank you for guiding us and blessing us. And we just ask you to bless every single person out there that listens, bless Xzibit, bless every single family member, part of this crime family, and we just ask to keep on guiding us. Amen.
Amen.
That's how we do it. Another episode, Mr. Criminal on air live, and we will be back next week, and we will not stop. More legendary guests, more legendary stuff. Critical.
Yes, sir.
We did it. What'd you say about Missy Elliott?
Oh man, she just got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's
Fire.
dope. That's
Fire.
dope.
Fire. Well deserved.
Well deserved. That's dope. But my homeboy Xzibit just got in Rolling Stone 74
That's
motherfucking
right.
5. Yeah.
That's right.
And we up out of here. Much
deserved,
love from
well
the West,
deserved.
baby. West. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors of the week. It is Illegal Image Clothing. You could check them out on Instagram, Illegal Image Clothing. And then we got our brother and the one that's putting it down, punching back in LA County and all over Southern California. His name is Attorney Rosenberg. You guys could check him out at Attorney Rosenberg. And then if you guys want to get some training, some fitness, some nutrition, get your mind right, get your body right, get right for summer, tap in with my boy JB Fitness. That's JB_Fitness on Instagram. And we also got the homies at Rap Kings. That's right, Rap Kings_LV. If you guys want to get your walls, businesses wrapped, vehicles, they do it all. So make sure you guys let them know that Mr. Criminal sent you. And last but not least, we got Tradecraft Farms. That's right, the homie Daniel Rodriguez of the UFC pulled up this week and tapped in with a bag of that Tradecraft, and we've been in touch. So I want to give a shout out to all our sponsors. Make sure you guys give them a follow. Make sure you guys show some love and support.